Hello everyone, and welcome to our latest lesson, which is lesson 30. I hope you all did okay with yesterday's lesson. It was a pretty big one, and it had that God word in it again too, so that's sometimes a tough one to take, especially if we have any religious teachings and background in our lives. It's sometimes difficult to let go of those teachings and embrace God in a new and different way. So, moving on, we have a little bit more God speak today. So lesson 30 is God is in everything I see because God is in my mind. So it's very much a continuation of yesterday's lesson, which was God is in everything I see. So God is in everything I see because God is in my mind. And this is about letting go of the not right mind, which is ego, and embracing the right mind, which is that God mind that is inherent in all of us and that we've forgotten, really, in our earthly travels. The idea for today is a springboard for vision. From this idea will the world open up before you, and you will look upon it and see in it what you have never seen before. Nor will what you saw before be even faintly visible to you. Today we are trying to use a new kind of projection. We are not attempting to get rid of what we do not like by seeing it outside. Instead, we are trying to see in the world what is in our minds and what we want to recognize is there. Thus, we are trying to join with what we see rather than keeping it apart from us. That is the fundamental difference between vision and the way you see. Today's ideas should be applied as often as possible throughout the day. Whenever you have a moment or so, repeat it to yourself slowly, looking about you and trying to realize that the idea applies to everything you do see now, or could see now if it were within the range of your sight. So this is very much about broadening our sight from the whole idea of sight being only what our eyes see and what our ego mind tells us, and broadening that vision and that sight to that place of loving presence where we have a totally different God focused vision of everything. So, real vision is not limited to concepts such as near and far. To help you begin to get used to this idea, try to think of things beyond your present range as well as those you can actually see as you apply today's idea. Real vision is not only unlimited by space and distance, but it does not depend on the body's eyes at all. The mind is its only source. To aid in helping you become more accustomed to this idea as well, devote several practice periods to applying today's idea with your eyes closed, using whatever subjects come to mind, and looking within rather than without. Today's idea applies equally to both. So you're going to do this with your eyes closed, but you're also going to do it with your eyes open, because you want to apply these ideas to that inner world as well, the thoughts that are going on in your head, and really looking at what you see or think, and broadening your horizons so that you see beyond your own small focus and what you have learned in the past. Sort of, it's that whole idea of thinking outside the box. Like, could there possibly be another way to look at this particular experience? Or, could there possibly be another way to look at the table or the coat hanger or that person over there? All those things are really bringing in that whole idea of changing the lens through which we see the world and ourselves. I think that's a good way of explaining it, like a lens. The lens that we see the world from now has a filter that comes from our past. So, and what the ego is telling us. So we're going to take off that filter. We're going to try and take off that filter, and we're going to see it in a much more clear light and from different perspectives, without judgment, without anything that's been pre-decided by our past experience. So really try and open yourself up to that experience, and see what you find out. See what you see. It might be difficult to see things differently, but really give it a good shot. And again, this is one that you apply as often as possible throughout the day. I know when I was doing this lesson, I really used it a lot in certain circumstances where I was feeling stressed and I was feeling pushed maybe, and could feel anger or some kind of upset happening. I would repeat this lesson, and sometimes I'd have to repeat it like 5 or 6 times in a row to really bring myself back into focus. There's a good way of putting it, back into focus, and that focus being on the godliness in everything and everyone, including myself. So good luck with it, and we'll see you tomorrow for lesson 31. Have a great day, everyone. Bye for now.